I are explaining today how to laser a site. Hi, Jim. Okay, Jim. Now, Phil and John is for all of us. This is our example. This is a laser that you're going to use. That laser, we have a manual now. And the laser is actually called a ProShot L4. Right, Jim? We checked it out.
Yes.
We got batteries. We can tell you the batteries we need for it, and they're going to be all ready for everybody. Now, Jim's going to give you an example of how to determine a high point,
Yes.
which is your zero, your starting point, and his little cheat notes. So we try to draw something up, as you see, but we might want to explain it as we draw it. Now, Jim's going to explain to you his little trick. Okay. Yep.
Can you see this?
Can I see it? Yeah, I can see. I can make it like this. Okay. Yep,
Right.
I can see it.
When you pull into your site, you look for the highest. What you can tell is the highest point of your grade. Take your laser level, set it up. Then you take.
That's that pink dot. No matter where it is on that site, the highest point, even if it's an acre away.
Nope, just on your site where the house is going to go.
So where would he determine, like if he has like a field that's like 150 by 550, how would he know where to build it?
Well, first you lay out your house. Then,
Okay.
Then from that, pick out your
High
10
point
feet
from
around.
10 feet around.
Yeah, your 10
so that's your starting point, 10 feet around where the home is being built.
Yep.
Perfect.
Figure out where your highest point is.
Okay.
Then set up your laser level so it shoots a solid beat at your highest point, just looking at it. And if you're unsure, you can take it and walk it around to your other sites, your other pins, and check it. But you want to start on your highest point. Then once you get your highest point at a solid beat, then you can go to your four corners of your foundation and just level. You have a solid beep on your stick, and just for reference, we use Kim's pink marker. Your stick, it will be, just say you're moving it and you get a solid beep. From one corner to the next, you got 10 inches. So you write down -10 because your grade is 10 inches lower than where you originally started from.
So it would be a negative from the zero. So anything's going to be a plus or a minus from that high point. The four corners are going to be plus or minus, period.
Period. Yep.
Gotcha. So is there any way to screw it up?
No. It's pretty simple. Once you figure out that high spot, I always go to the high spot because that's where your water's going to drain and you need it to drain past that high spot.
And is that what you would say is probably about 75% of our problems with everything is grade?
Yep. And once you get that figured out and you get your four corners, you can figure out how deep your basement's going to be in, how much fill you're going to gain from digging the hole, and you might have to raise the basement to use it up, around the site because you don't want to really haul it away.
And how do you determine that by those four numbers?
Well, first thing I do with the four numbers is I find the average of the four numbers. Then I just subtract it. Let's say it's a foot average. So then I take my 2 feet off my top of my basement, and I figure out I'm going to dig like a 7-foot hole, 6-foot hole. Mm-hmm. And I figure out how much dirt that is. And I set that.
How do you figure that out though?
With my concrete calculator.
So what do you put in there? Just
I put width, height, and length.
Width, height, length, and that'll tell you how much fill?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
See?
So now you know how much fill you're going to gain out of this hole. Then you take and figure out how much fill you need to go around the outside. And
how do you figure that out?
This basically the same way. You punch in a calculator and it tells you how many.
What do you punch in though on the
your
outside?
Your length and your width, how far out you want to backfill, and how deep it's going to be.
And that's from those numbers, or no?
No, you just got to come up with that number.
How do you come up with it?
Well, you're going to have 8 inches of basement exposed or 2 feet of basement exposed. That sets this number.
And that's what we have never set. That's the part we're missing and why we need extra fill or we need to carry the siding down.
Right. Or else your water table, that throws you all off.
So it's not really the perk test, any of this. It has to do with the very beginning of how we laser the site.
Yep.
If anything, we should be conservative, not more.
Right. Right.
Gotcha.
Because you can always burn up dirt hauling it. Just go backfill farther away from the home.
Sure.
You can burn up dirt real fast.
And then that's when we do the perk test, we know the type of soil it is.
Right.
And that determines if we can use all that or if we're going to need that much more brought in if it's not able to be used.
Right.
Makes sense. And this is brought to you by Jim and Kimberly at All American Dream Homes. Thank you.